My beloved child, have you ever felt that strange feeling that something important is happening around you, yet nobody is telling you the full story? Have you ever walked into a room and felt as if a conversation suddenly stopped the moment you arrived? Have you ever wondered why certain moments in your life seem too perfectly timed to be random? Stay till the end, because what you are about to hear may change the way you look at your own journey. Don't skip. Every second of this message matters, and something huge is waiting for you. Tonight's story begins with a lawyer who spent years studying documents, testimonies, and hidden details that most people never notice. Day after day, he examined cases that seemed ordinary on the surface. Yet the deeper he looked, the more he discovered a pattern. It was not the kind of pattern that appears in newspapers. It was not the kind that people discuss openly. It was something quieter. Something that existed beneath the surface of everyday life. One evening, while reviewing a collection of notes, the lawyer came across a statement that stopped him completely. He read it once. Then twice. Then a third time. The words themselves were simple, but their meaning was powerful. The statement suggested that many people spend their entire lives believing nobody notices them, while the truth may be the exact opposite. The lawyer became fascinated. Why would so many people feel invisible when signs of attention seem to surround them every day? Don't skip. Stay till the end. The most surprising part of this story is still ahead. The lawyer began collecting examples. He spoke to people from different backgrounds, different cities, and different walks of life. What he found was astonishing. Again and again, people described moments that felt strangely familiar. They spoke about opportunities appearing at the exact moment they were needed. They spoke about unexpected encounters that changed everything. They spoke about paths crossing in ways that seemed impossible to predict. At first, these events appeared unrelated. But the more stories he gathered, the more a picture began to form. It was as if every person was connected to a larger story that they could not fully see. A story unfolding quietly behind the scenes. A story moving forward whether they noticed it or not. Imagine standing in the middle of a giant puzzle while only being able to see a few pieces around your feet. You might believe the picture is random. You might think the pieces have no connection. But what if someone standing above could see the entire design? What if every piece belonged exactly where it was meant to be? The lawyer's discovery was not about fear. It was not about danger. It was about awareness. He realized that many people spend so much time looking for dramatic signs that they miss the meaningful ones already present in their lives. Small conversations. Unexpected opportunities. Quiet encouragement. Chance meetings that later become life-changing moments. And then came the discovery that shocked him most. One day, while reviewing dozens of interviews, he noticed that people who paid attention to these small moments often experienced remarkable changes. Not because the world suddenly changed around them, but because they began noticing what had always been there. They started seeing possibilities where others saw obstacles. They started recognizing patterns where others saw coincidence. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. The lawyer wrote a simple sentence in his notebook. He circled it 3 times. He underlined it twice. And according to those who later saw his notes, it became the central idea behind everything he had learned. The sentence was this: "The greatest things influencing your life are often the things you barely notice." Think about that for a moment. Not the loudest voices. Not the biggest headlines. Not the most dramatic events. The quiet influences. The small decisions. The overlooked opportunities. The people who encourage you when nobody else does. The moments that seem ordinary until years later when you realize they changed everything. As the lawyer continued his research, he became convinced that people underestimate how connected their lives truly are. Every decision opens a new door. Every conversation creates a possibility. Every day contains opportunities that many people walk past without seeing. And that leads to the question that changed everything for him. What if the attention surrounding your life is not something negative at all? What if it is simply evidence that your actions matter more than you realize? What if your kindness matters? What if your choices matter? What if your persistence matters? What if the story of your life is influencing people in ways you cannot yet see? Don't skip. The most powerful realization is coming next. The lawyer eventually reached a conclusion that surprised even him. He believed that people often focus on whether they are being noticed while completely ignoring a more important question. What kind of impact are they creating? Because the truth is that influence works in both directions. Just as your life is shaped by others, the lives of others are shaped by you. Every encouraging word. Every act of patience. Every moment of courage. These things travel further than most people imagine. The reason this discovery felt so important was because it transformed the way he viewed everyday life. He no longer saw ordinary moments as ordinary. He saw them as opportunities. Opportunities to learn. Opportunities to grow. Opportunities to create a positive effect that could continue long after the moment itself had passed. And perhaps that is the real message hidden within this story. Maybe the reason certain events keep appearing in your life is not because you are meant to feel worried. Maybe it is because you are meant to pay attention. Pay attention to your goals. Pay attention to your growth. Pay attention to the opportunities appearing in front of you. Pay attention to the people who genuinely care about your future. Because when you begin paying attention, something extraordinary happens. You stop waiting for life to reveal its secrets. You begin discovering them for yourself. Stay till the end, because one final thought remains. The lawyer eventually closed his notebook and wrote one last message. A message intended for anyone who would one day hear his story. He wrote, "You are part of a larger story than you can currently see. Keep moving forward. Keep paying attention. The answers you seek often arrive quietly. And perhaps that message was meant for you. Perhaps the reason you found this video today was not because of coincidence. Perhaps it was because you needed a reminder. A reminder that your journey matters. A reminder that your choices matter. A reminder that your future is still being written. Don't skip the opportunities in front of you. Stay till the end of your journey. Because something huge may be waiting just beyond the next chapter." A strange detail appeared in the lawyer's notes that almost nobody talks about, and when he finally connected the pieces together, he realized that the biggest truth was hiding in plain sight the entire time. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. What you are about to hear may be the most surprising part of this story so far. The lawyer discovered that most people spend years searching for answers in distant places while completely overlooking the clues that surround them every single day. He noticed that the people who experienced the greatest breakthroughs were not always the smartest, the richest, or the most powerful. Instead, they were often the people who paid attention when others were distracted. They noticed patterns. They noticed timing. They noticed opportunities that seemed ordinary at first but later became life-changing moments. The more he studied these stories, the more convinced he became that the world was full of hidden signals that most people never recognize. Stay till the end because the next revelation changed everything he thought he knew. As his investigation continued, the lawyer came across a collection of personal journals written by people from completely different backgrounds. None of them knew each other. None of them lived in the same place. Yet their stories contained something remarkably similar. Again and again, they described moments when they felt guided toward an opportunity they almost ignored. Some nearly deleted an email that later transformed their future. Some almost skipped a meeting that led to an unforgettable connection. Some nearly gave up on a dream only days before a breakthrough arrived. The lawyer was stunned. How could so many different people describe experiences that sounded so alike? Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. The deeper he looked, the more he realized that the biggest turning points in life rarely arrive with loud announcements. They arrive quietly. They appear in ordinary conversations. They appear in unexpected introductions. They appear in moments that seem insignificant until months or years later. That realization completely changed the direction of his research. Instead of asking why people felt watched, he began asking a different question. What if people are surrounded by opportunities they simply fail to notice? What if the real mystery is not who is paying attention to you, but what opportunities are paying attention to you? That question stayed in his mind for months, and every answer seemed to point towards something even bigger. Don't skip. What comes next shocked even the people who helped him gather information. During one interview, a man shared a story about a decision he almost never made. It seemed small at the time. It took only a few seconds. Yet that single decision completely altered the direction of his life. The lawyer heard similar stories over and over again. Tiny moments. Small choices. Brief conversations. Yet each one carried consequences far greater than anyone expected. Slowly, a powerful realization emerged. The future is often shaped by moments that seem too ordinary to matter. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. The lawyer then wrote another sentence in his notebook. Unlike the first sentence, this one was longer. It read, "The opportunities that change your life rarely announce themselves as opportunities." When he looked back at hundreds of interviews, that statement appeared true again and again. People expected life-changing moments to look dramatic. Instead, they often looked completely ordinary. A simple invitation. A casual conversation. A decision to keep going one more day. A choice to remain hopeful when quitting would have been easier. These moments did not appear important when they happened. Their significance became clear only later. As news of the lawyer's findings spread, people began sharing their own experiences. Thousands of stories arrived. Some described incredible coincidences. Some described opportunities that appeared at exactly the right moment. Others described lessons learned after years of struggle. Yet almost every story contained one common message. The people involved only recognized the importance of those moments after they had already passed. That realization fascinated the lawyer more than anything else. Why do people see the value of certain moments only when looking backward? Why do the most important chapters of life often seem ordinary while they are happening? Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. The answer he discovered may surprise you. He believed that people are often focused on reaching the next destination, which prevents them from recognizing the significance of the journey itself. They become so focused on tomorrow that they overlook the opportunities available today. They become so focused on future success that they fail to notice present growth. The lawyer concluded that awareness itself may be one of the most valuable skills a person can develop. One evening, while reviewing his notes for the final time, he noticed a pattern he had somehow missed before. The people who described the most meaningful transformations often shared another trait. They remained curious. They stayed open-minded. They continued learning even when life became difficult. They refused to assume that they already knew everything. Because of that attitude, they noticed possibilities that others overlooked. The lawyer found this discovery incredibly important. It suggested that extraordinary opportunities are not reserved for a select few. They are available to anyone willing to remain aware and attentive. Stay till the end because the next idea may be the most powerful revelation in this entire story. The lawyer eventually concluded that many people spend their lives waiting for proof that something significant is coming. Yet the proof is often already present. It appears in progress. It appears in growth. It appears in the lessons learned through experience. It appears in the strength developed through challenges. These signs may not seem dramatic, but they are real. They are evidence that life is moving forward even when the path ahead is unclear. The lawyer's final review lasted several hours. He reread every interview. He revisited every note. He examined every conclusion. Then he wrote one final observation that would later become the centerpiece of his entire investigation. He wrote, "The people who recognize hidden opportunities are often the people who expect life to have meaning." That sentence stood out because it connected everything he had learned. Meaning creates attention. Attention creates awareness. Awareness reveals opportunities. Opportunities create transformation. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Imagine how different life becomes when you begin noticing details that others ignore. Imagine how different your decisions become when you understand that small moments can carry enormous importance. Imagine how different your future becomes when you stop dismissing every opportunity simply because it arrives in an ordinary form. The lawyer believed that this shift in perspective could change everything. As the story neared its conclusion, he left behind a final challenge for anyone willing to listen. He encouraged people to spend the next few days paying closer attention to their surroundings. Not because something dramatic was about to happen, but because meaningful opportunities often arrive quietly. Pay attention to conversations. Pay attention to ideas. Pay attention to unexpected moments of inspiration. Pay attention to opportunities that appear when you least expect them. According to the lawyer, these moments may contain more value than most people realize. And now we arrive at the final revelation of this chapter. The lawyer never claimed that a hidden force was controlling people's lives. Instead, he suggested something far more powerful. He believed that life constantly presents opportunities for growth, connection, and transformation, yet most people are too distracted to notice them. The real mystery was never why people felt watched. The real mystery was why people overlooked so much of the potential surrounding them every single day. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Because in the next chapter, the lawyer uncovers a discovery so unexpected that even he struggled to explain it at first. A discovery involving a pattern that appeared repeatedly across countless stories. A pattern that seemed impossible to ignore. And once you hear it, you may never look at your own experiences the same way again. What happened next was so unexpected that the lawyer spent weeks trying to understand it. Out of all the interviews, notes, journals, and personal stories he had collected, one pattern kept appearing again and again. It did not matter where people came from. It did not matter what age they were. It did not matter what kind of life they lived. The same pattern appeared repeatedly, and once he noticed it, he could not ignore it. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Because this discovery became the turning point of everything he believed. The pattern was simple, yet incredibly powerful. The biggest positive changes in people's lives often began shortly after a moment when they felt completely uncertain about what would happen next. The lawyer found this fascinating. Again and again, people described reaching a point where they felt stuck. They felt confused. They felt unsure about the future. Yet shortly afterward, an unexpected opportunity appeared. A new idea emerged. A meaningful connection formed. A door opened that they never expected to see. At first, the lawyer assumed this was just coincidence. But the more examples he reviewed, the harder it became to dismiss. One person described feeling lost before discovering a passion that transformed their future. Another described doubting themselves before receiving an opportunity they had dreamed about for years. Another explained how a simple conversation arrived at exactly the right moment and changed their entire direction. The lawyer began to wonder whether uncertainty itself might play a bigger role in growth than most people realize. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. One evening, while studying dozens of these stories side by side, he noticed something even more surprising. The people involved almost always underestimated their own progress. They believed they were standing still when they were actually moving forward. They believed nothing important was happening when important changes were already taking place beneath the surface. The lawyer found this realization extraordinary. He wrote in his notebook that progress often becomes visible only after enough time has passed. Think about that for a moment. A tree does not grow overnight. A skill is not mastered in a single day. A dream is not achieved in one afternoon. Yet growth is happening the entire time. The lawyer believed that many people become discouraged simply because they expect visible results too quickly. They fail to recognize the value of consistent effort. They fail to see the invisible progress taking place behind the scenes. Stay till the end because the next discovery may be the most surprising one yet. As his research continued, he found another pattern hidden within the stories. The people who eventually experienced remarkable opportunities often shared one important habit. They kept moving forward even when they did not have every answer. They remained curious. They remained hopeful. They remained willing to take the next step even when the entire path was unclear. The lawyer believed this habit separated those who recognized opportunities from those who missed them. Don't skip. Many people wait for perfect certainty before taking action. They wait for complete confidence. They wait for absolute clarity. They wait for every question to be answered. Yet the stories suggested something different. The most meaningful opportunities often appeared only after someone chose to move forward despite uncertainty. This realization changed the lawyer's perspective completely. Instead of viewing uncertainty as an obstacle, he began seeing it as a sign that growth might be taking place. A sign that new possibilities might be closer than they appear. A sign that an important chapter might be forming just beyond the horizon. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. One of the most memorable stories came from a woman who described a period of life when nothing seemed to make sense. She felt as though she was waiting for something important but had no idea what it might be. Months later, she looked back and realized that nearly every event during that period had prepared her for an opportunity she never expected. The lawyer found countless stories that followed a similar pattern. Preparation often happened before people understood what they were being prepared for. That idea stayed with him. Preparation before understanding. Growth before recognition. Progress before proof. The more he thought about it, the more powerful it became. The lawyer eventually concluded that many people spend too much time searching for immediate explanations. They want every detail to make sense right away. Yet life often reveals meaning gradually. It reveals purpose step by step. It reveals opportunities one chapter at a time. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. As he organized his final findings, the lawyer created a list of observations that appeared repeatedly throughout his research. First, opportunities often arrive quietly. Second, growth frequently happens before people recognize it. Third, uncertainty is often present before meaningful change. Fourth, awareness increases the likelihood of recognizing valuable opportunities. And fifth, the future is often shaped by decisions that seem small in the moment. These observations became the foundation of his work. But then he discovered something even more remarkable. While reviewing hundreds of personal stories, he realized that many of the most meaningful experiences began with a simple choice. A choice to pay attention. A choice to remain open-minded. A choice to keep learning. A choice to continue moving forward. The lawyer believed that this was the hidden connection tying all the stories together. Not luck. Not coincidence. Not special advantages. Awareness. The willingness to notice what others overlook. The willingness to see possibility where others see nothing. The willingness to remain attentive when everyone else becomes distracted. Stay till the end because the next realization may change the way you view your own experiences. The lawyer often asked interview participants one final question. If you could go back in time and give advice to your younger self, what would you say? The answers were remarkably similar. Many said they would worry less. Many said they would trust the process more. Many said they would stop underestimating their potential. Many said they would pay closer attention to opportunities appearing around them. And many said they would spend less time doubting whether they were moving forward. The lawyer noticed that almost nobody wished they had spent more time worrying. Instead, they wished they had recognized their progress sooner. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Because the final conclusion of this chapter may be the most important one yet. After years of collecting stories, analyzing patterns, and studying experiences, the lawyer arrived at a simple but powerful belief. People are often much closer to meaningful opportunities than they realize. The reason they fail to see this is because they focus too heavily on what has not happened yet. They focus on missing pieces. They focus on unanswered questions. They focus on distant goals. Meanwhile, they overlook the progress already taking place. They overlook the lessons already learned. They overlook the opportunities already appearing. The lawyer believed that awareness transforms everything. When you become more aware, you notice patterns. When you notice patterns, you recognize opportunities. When you recognize opportunities, you make better decisions. And better decisions create remarkable outcomes over time. As he closed the final page of his notebook, he wrote one last message. Not a prediction. Not a promise. Just a reminder. He wrote. Pay attention to the chapter you are living right now. The meaning of this chapter may not be visible yet, but that does not mean it is unimportant. Those words became one of the most memorable lines in his entire investigation. And perhaps they matter more today than ever before. Because in the next chapter, the lawyer uncovers a hidden connection between timing, opportunity, and awareness that appeared so consistently throughout his research that he could no longer ignore it. The evidence seemed impossible to dismiss. The pattern seemed too strong to be accidental. And once you hear what he discovered, you may begin looking at your own journey in a completely different way. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you.